I get it, UVE. Probably been scrolling through endless projector listings, trying not to throw away a few $100 on a unit that looks impressive on paper but ends up looking like a dim TV in your living room. You worry about the brightness claim. Wonder if a 4K laser system will actually make a difference in a room with some daylight, and you're scared of ending up with a giant box that's a nightmare to set up. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and that's the same link I'll point you to again at the end, just so you don't have to hunt for it later. The JMGO N1S Ultimate Triple Laser 4K Projector tries to be the all-in-one answer for people who want a cinematic experience without a dedicated home theater room. At first glance, the triple laser and daylight-ready brightness sound like marketing jargon. But when you break it down, the three lasers actually mean you're getting a full color gamut that can hit deep reds and vibrant blues without the color washout you sometimes see on single-chip DLP units. In practical terms, if you've ever tried to watch a movie on a projector in a room with a couple of windows, you know how frustrating it can be when the picture looks washed out. The N1S pushes enough lumens to keep the image lively even with blinds half down, which is a real advantage for anyone who can't or won't black out the room completely. Now, who should seriously consider this projector? First, families that love weekend movie marathons and want a screen size that rivals a theater but can still fold away when the kids need the living room for homework. The included 100-inch screen is already sized for a typical wall, so you don't have to source a separate screen or worry about stretching the image. Second, gamers who play on a large display and value low input lag. The laser source gives a near-instantaneous response, meaning fast-paced shooters feel smoother than on many LCD panels. Third, remote work or presentation users who need a bright, clear display for video calls or slide decks. The daylight-ready claim actually translates to a readable image in a conference room-style environment. On the flip side, if you're a minimalist who wants a tiny Pico projector you can toss in a backpack, the N1S is overkill. It's a sizable unit, and while the FlexiSmart 2.0 adaptive system lets you tilt and shift the image without moving the whole projector, you still need a decent amount of clearance to get those angle adjustments working. Also, renters who can't drill holes or mount a permanent screen might find the setup a bit invasive, even though the screen itself is portable. Finally, if you're hunting for a bargain under $800, the N1S sits in a higher price bracket. The laser tech and built-in screen push it into the premium range, so you need to be comfortable with that investment. Let's talk about everyday usability. Setting it up for the first time felt a lot like assembling a high-end TV stand. Lots of screws, a wall mount bracket, and the need to align the projector with the screen's center. The FlexiSmart 2.0 software walks you through a calibration wizard that automatically tweaks keystone and focus, which is a lifesaver if you're not an AV nerd. I tested it in a sunlit living room with the curtains drawn only halfway. The picture stayed bright enough to see details in darker scenes, and the colors held their punch without turning into a pastel wash. Watching a nature documentary, the greens of a rainforest looked almost tangible, and that's a direct result of the triple laser light source delivering a broader color spectrum than a typical lamp. One practical strength that often gets glossed over in spec sheets is the noise level. Laser projectors tend to run cooler than lamp-based models, and the N1S's fan is surprisingly quiet enough that dialogue in a drama isn't drowned out, even when you sit just a few feet away. If you've ever been annoyed by a buzzing projector during a late-night movie, this is a genuine upgrade. Another hidden advantage is the built-in entertainment ecosystem. The unit ships with a smart TV interface, so you can pull Netflix, Disney+, or YouTube directly without an external streaming stick. That reduces cable clutter and keeps the whole experience tidy, which is a small but meaningful convenience for anyone who hates dealing with extra dongles. But there are trade-offs you should weigh. The biggest one is the lamp replacement cycle. Laser sources are long-lasting, usually quoted at 20,000 hours, but the actual serviceable part isn't user-replaceable. If something goes wrong after a few years, you'll be looking at a service call or a pricey module swap, which can be a concern for people who like DIY fixes. Also, the projector's native 4K resolution is impressive on paper, yet you'll notice the difference most clearly on larger screens or when watching high bit depth content. On a 100-inch screen, the jump from 1080p to 4K is noticeable, but if you only plan to watch standard HD streams, you might not be leveraging the